market has been absolutely crazy, guys. We've seen about a 2,000 point drop in the past 2 days. It looks like ramen noodles are on the menu for the next few weeks. Not pretty. I was down, past few days I was down, a little over $2,000 the past few days. And yeah, it doesn't feel good. That's probably the biggest loss I've had over that period of time. I'm going to show my gains and my winners. I might as well show my losses too, just to be transparent. I'm going to be talking about why the market's doing this and what I'm doing while it's happening. So since we're all broke now, I have a link in the description for a brokerage called WeBull, and when you sign up, you get 2 free stocks, and it doesn't matter how much you deposit. Could be $5, could be $1,000. You still get your 2 free stocks up to $1,400. So that's pretty cool. I mean, free money is free money. So before this past week, the market was shooting every day, it seemed like, for the past like 3 or 4 months. We've just been going up, up, up. I mean, I would check the futures every night and we'd be up like 100, 200 points. And, you know, it was a good time, you know, until now. Personally, I knew a correction was coming. I just didn't know when, because you can't time it. But I knew it was going to happen, so I'm not really surprised. You can't just go up, you know, 10%, 15% in a short amount of time like that and not see the downside as well. The main reason for these big drops we've been having is due to the coronavirus. And, you know, I think it's kind of, well, it's not funny, but I think it's just kind of odd that, you know, the past 2 or 3 weeks, this news has been out and it just seems like no one really cared. We just kept buying and buying and buying. And you know, on Monday and Tuesday, it just hit. Everyone's like, oh wow, this could actually be a problem. Where the market was, I could totally see us correcting at least 10 to 15%. I mean, the past 2 days, we've already corrected 8%. So I could totally see, you know, another slow drip downward. I totally see the S&P pulling back to probably 300 easily. Some companies the past 2 days that have dropped 15%, like it's nothing. I mean, it's absolutely crazy. For me personally, my investment strategy, you know, over the past few years has just been to dollar cost average. So no matter where we are in the markets, whether we're up, down, sideways, I'm always buying every 2 weeks regardless. If you have big drops like this in the market, it can be pretty scary. And, you know, the best thing to do is not to sell out. So for me, you know, I'm 22 years old. I have 40, 50 years to invest my money and compound it. So, you know, little price fluctuations like this don't really bother me. You know, I have a long-term perspective of I'm going to hold this stock or this ETF for 5 to 10, 20, 40 years. And, you know, if it goes down 10%, I just buy more. So, you know, this whole thing of this market volatility, you know, it just allows me to be able to buy more companies cheap. Personally, I usually have about 10% cash at all times, like waiting for this moment to happen. But other than that, I'm usually pretty much fully invested in the market. To put it into perspective, guys, every single market crash or correction we've had in the history of the market being open, we have always come back. You kind of realize that, wow, maybe I shouldn't be selling. So if you were a buyer of those dips, you would have been rewarded every single time. So keep that in perspective when this is happening. Think of it as an actual buying opportunity and don't get scared. I know personally, you know, maybe once every 2 years, we're going to get a market correction or a dip. It's not about if we are ever going to get one, it's about when and how well prepared you are. I always say keep, you know, 10 to 20% of your portfolio in cash, just so in case something like this happens, you can buy the dip. So another trick I use when this is happening, because I mean, let's be honest, no one likes seeing their account down thousands of dollars. And over the past 2 days, I'm down, you know, over $2,000, and you kind of ask yourself, you know, new MacBook Pro or market? I know it'll come back eventually, so I'm not worried. Another trick I use, you know, if we're in this whole correction phase in the market, I just kind of ignore it. Like I act like it's not even happening. Don't even pay attention to it. Just go about your day. Don't even worry about the market or what's happening, because that can just get you more and more emotional and could result into you selling your positions. What can really help you is if you look at the long-term charts of the S&P 500 and the companies that you're buying, look at the long-term chart and see where you're really at. It helps to really track your wealth and track your portfolio long-term, because for me, I mean, when I look at my portfolio, we had a 25% correction, 25% correction in December of 2018. And when I look back at that now, I don't even see it. It's just a very small tick. And it seems like this huge thing when you're in it, like, oh no, we're losing 10%. You know, that's so big, but in reality, it's not. If you're a long-term investor and you're worried about the current market volatility, I would just say buy these big names up that are on the cheap right now. I mean, you got Apple, Microsoft that have come off their highs significantly because they're just, let's be honest, guys, they were trading so high the past few months. it's kind of hard to buy into them. But now check out these big names that you've always wanted to get into: Apple, Microsoft, Amazon, Facebook, and if you see any good deals out there, scoop them up. So for me, my strategy, regardless of where the market is, stays the same, and it's important for you to do as well. For me, with this current volatility, nothing really changes with my investment strategy. I'm still pumping in the market every 2 weeks, regardless of where we're at. I started doing this method is because, before I would try and time the top and sell out before we took a correction. But in reality, you can't time it. So I would be sitting on 30-40% cash just watching it keep going higher. I'm in index funds. I'm just going to contribute every 2 weeks. And, it doesn't really matter what happens in the short term because I'm in it for the next 40 years. That's why they recommend 401ks to so many people, because it's on autopilot and it just takes it out of your check every 2 weeks. And, it invests it. You don't even have to worry about it. You don't look at it. All of a sudden, when you're 50 years old, you're like, wow. Yeah, for me, I mostly just stick to low-cost index funds. It allows me to not be emotional with the market and just stay the course. Just think of this current pullback as healthy and needed. I mean, you can't just go up forever. You need some sort of pullback once in a while. Think of this current market correction as just a healthy pullback. And, make sure you buy the dip. It's not the apocalypse. It's just a virus that's going around. People are scared of it. And people are scared of it. It's causing volatility in the markets. And for me personally, I'm going to be buying the dip. I already have been buying the dip, and I'm just sticking to the same script I've always stick to. I look at my December low in 2018. I can't even see where it happened. At the time, it seemed so big. Oh, wow, we're dropping 20-25%. It just seemed like the end of the world. This video puts some things into perspective and kind of calmed people down a little bit. It's important not to get emotional and just think of investing as a long-term vehicle to put your money in. Don't think about it too much. It's going to do what it's going to do, but in the long term, it's going to be up. If you enjoyed the video, smash that like button, subscribe for future videos. We're almost at 300, which is crazy. Wow, it's so weird. Like 300 people, that's a lot. Also, remember, if you want some free money, 2 free stocks. I think they're actually might be doing, don't quote me, I think they're doing 3 stocks right now for free. So yeah, if you want some free money, check out that link in the description. Sign up with WeBull. Deposit $5, get your money. It doesn't matter. Guys, give me some feedback in the comments if the music's too loud, because I added some music in this video just to kind of like keep it going. If it's too loud, let me know. I tried to keep it as low as possible just so it's not distracting. But until the next one, I'm out.